Bellina Show. The Louie Bellina Show final hour on a Thursday. The Louie Bellina Show is presented by CC Electric. They have free estimates. They have military and veteran discounts. They are CC Electric. Thursday's final hour, Rusty Burson time. He's an author. He's also an Aggie historian, and he's a friend of small animals. Rusty, what's up, dude?
Oh, speaking of small animals, I was just looking at the pictures of my dog here. So we we have this pool, and which is a huge, mistake. But anyway, we have a pool, and we have a pool guy who comes out and cleans it, and he takes these photos before and after. And so it's always fun to see a picture of my Labrador, because she's always in them, and she's helping him, and has a ball in her mouth, and he always sends me notes that this is his favorite stop because he gets to play fetch.
That's awesome. Look at the photos and good times, good memories.
Yeah, she thinks, this Labrador thinks we put that pool in for her, and she actually spends more time in it than any other living being, so yeah, I guess it is hers.
So there's something that broke yesterday, at least in my memory, if I remember right, that I've been waiting, haven't touched it, because I think you're very equipped to speak to this.
Okay.
TCU has banned the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, pulled credentials over the reporting of a locker room assault that resulted in a case filing with TCU campus cops. Their beat guy, Stephen Johnson, has been told that the decision stemmed from the victim receiving threats after the reporting. Stephen never identified the victim until the victim made a public statement on his Instagram. And there's been a lot ever since.
Yeah, it's kind of a joke. But I'll tell you, quite frankly, I worked at the Star-Telegram at one point in my career, and I didn't even know the Star-Telegram still existed. It's like, I don't even think they print anything anymore. It's kind of they fired everybody late out. Again, I was almost unaware the Star-Telegram existed until this. And that says how far the thing has fallen. But I think it's the only official, full-time media outlet that covers TCU. So
that's true. That is 100% true.
TCU is just slapped, itself in the face. I mean, to ban the reporters. I mean, okay, fine, fine. Star-Telegram don't cover TCU. Cover SMU. Cover. Put nothing but SMU news in there. See what happens for the readers in Fort Worth.
TCU is claiming that the story had no facts. There wasn't enough research. In the end, most of it was actually kind of inaccurate and wrong. And they're just saying that there was no procedure followed.
Yeah, I think it's crock. I think TCU is definitely in the wrong here. I thoroughly enjoyed TCU's social media account after Texas Tech, all the scandals at Texas Tech. They were very creative, but I think TCU looks really stupid right now.
Does this fall under freedom of press? Because a lot of people were screaming this is freedom of press on socials, and other people were then saying you have no idea what freedom of press means if you think this falls under freedom of press.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting line, Lou, because, I think that, again, I think TCU is really spiteful here and is in the wrong. I think that, they're playing in Ireland on Saturday, and I know that reporter was planning on being in Ireland.
He said all along, has not flinched this morning yet, that, he's still getting on the plane, man. They got tickets and hotel already done.
So, but he's not going to have a press pass, I guess.
So he's not credentialed.
Yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous. I guess you can cover the game from the stands. You don't have to have quotes, I guess, but it's just it's bizarre. I can't. I don't know what. I just know that it feels really bad here for TCU. It feels like they're really making the news in a really negative way. And I guess, some people say any news is good news, because you're in the profile. But, you're playing in Ireland this weekend. So you'd be in the high profile. It's the only really interesting college game this whole weekend.
Why would you want anything to steal the spotlight from, hey, we're in Ireland? Hey, we're the spotlight
North
game
Carolina.
in the opener.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so much going their way. Why would they want this to be the thing to jump in the way of that?
Yeah, it's a great question because they spanked North Carolina last year in Belichick's debut, and so, we haven't heard much about Belichick. He's been laying pretty low, hasn't he?
He has to. Look, the whole North Carolina program is a toxic dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, I agree. But they've asked for it. I mean, they hired Bill Belichick, and just the fact that they did that was highly questionable. Even when it happened, and then after last year's disaster, I'm surprised that he's coming back for year two.
But they had no idea they were getting this version. They had no idea he's mind controlled by a cheerleader. They had no idea that his assistants were, off the rails. They had no idea they were getting this.
Did they have no idea that Tom Brady wasn't coming with them?
I don't know. They probably had no idea about that, too. I mean, there's no way they knew this was the circus they signed up for.
Is it fair to say that as a head coach, Tom Brady made Bill Belichick? I mean, Bill Belichick was really good. Did a lot of great things. But, man, Tom Brady.
Okay, let me ask you this question in a different context.
Okay.
Is there any legendary head coach that didn't have a quarterback that made him?
That's probably a fair, interesting question there. I mean,
I got one, but I'm not going to throw it out there. There's only one coach that comes to mind that I think would fit that, but one.
Not off the top of my head. I mean, who's the guy you thinking about?
Bill Parcells.
Yeah, I mean, he has some decent quarterbacks in with the Giants, but nothing spectacular. Phil Simms is pretty good, right?
But you just said pretty good.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Tom Landry had Roger Staubach, Jimmy Johnson had Troy Aikman, and the Packers coaches had Brett Favre, and
we've seen lesser coaches blow their shot with great quarterbacks having no clue what to do with them.
Right. No question. I mean, I think there have been Super Bowl winners that didn't have great quarterbacks, but not legendary coaches for sure.
Yeah, so I think it's hand in hand. You can't be a legendary coach without the legendary quarterback, and we've seen legendary quarterbacks never be legendary with non-legendary coaches. They need each other.
Right. That's correct. I think.
I got one more text message pointed this out. Ditka.
Ooh, but Jim McMahon was really good that one year, and Ditka only won one Super Bowl, and that was his downfall because that Bears team should have won multiple Super Bowls, and they made it to the playoffs. They won it in '85, so dominant. One loss that whole year, and then they were the playoff favorite the next 3 years, and then they never made it. Now that was because Jim McMahon was always hurt, and so I think Jim McMahon made that team run. I mean, obviously the defense, but I mean the heart and soul of that team was Jim McMahon because he was headbutting with Walter Payton with his offensive linemen. He was really special in '85. I remember one game in particular. So I'm watching this game. It's a Thursday night game. The Vikings are up 17 points over the Bears, and McMahon's on the sideline. He's begging Ditka to get in the game. So finally Ditka releases him, sends him into the game. He throws a touchdown pass on his first, second, and fourth play and leads him back. So I don't know. I mean, that '85 Bears team, that was one of my favorite teams ever, so I could probably go on and on about it. But, yeah, for the most part, you're right. I mean, Andy Reid's not Andy Reid without
Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Because Andy Reid was one of the greatest coaches that never was.
Right.
He was Marty Schottenheimer.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, Schottenheimer, who had those Browns teams ever so many times on the edge of the Super Bowl, and Elway did it to him over and over.
So it's interesting when you ask that. I kind of thought of that in reverse, and I'm like, no, they got to go hand in hand. And again, many quarterbacks never got to be great due to the coach where they were stuck.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I'll explain the end at the end, but are we allowed to have demands on college football players now based upon how much they're paid? Has NIL transformed it? Because I never thought of that before. Each year you judge, you watch your team, you hope they win X and Y and all, but, when you watch pro games, you sit there and go, you're getting paid $30 million as a starting pitcher. I better get X, right?
Right.
Do we start doing that on college players now?
If they're going to release this money, I guess you do. I mean, if they're going to release the amount that these guys are getting, and you're going to compare apples and apples with, how much this player is getting versus how much this player is getting, I think it's fair game.
Oh,
these guys are getting paid.
But I don't want to. That just feels so wrong.
But again, Lou, it's not amateur sports anymore. I mean, it's these guys are getting paid, and if you get paid, then scrutiny comes. I've always felt like the college guys didn't deserve the scrutiny that the NFL guys did because they weren't getting paid, and now you're getting paid in many cases. We talked about this last week. In many cases, these college quarterbacks are getting paid more than some of these NFL quarterbacks.
No, it's true.
And
no, it's true.
So, I mean, it's fair game. So, I think, when the rules change, so does the scrutiny.
I saw On3 release the list of the top paid quarterbacks in college football. Well, the first version they released like a week and change ago was pay, so I didn't look at that. I'm not going to pay.
Right.
Then they released their top 4, and then we've seen top 8, and here's the top 4. Number 4 is Sam Levitt, LSU at 4.5. You have a tie for second between Trinidad Chambliss and Dante Moore at $5 million, and Darian Mensah is $6 million plus. Now, the thing to understand, there's no facts in this. This is what they hear. Experts tell them a great business economics guess. But that's the top 4. And when I saw the list at 8, number 8 was like 3.5. When I saw another list, the most expensive player on A&M's roster is who? Marcel Reed at 3 plus. So if 3.5 is 8 and Marcel's 3, he's pretty close to one of the top 10 paid quarterbacks in college football.
And is he one of the top 10 quarterbacks in college football?
You know what? Should be. I wouldn't be surprised if he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's right there in. I mean, that's the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's. I don't think he's a top 5, but I think he's hovering right there in that top 10. So I guess based on that, is he making? I mean, when everything's being equal, is he making fair money based on the marketplace? Well, probably so.
Here is where it gets tricky, sticky. What's the value of a quarterback who equals -2 losses a year? Like, I don't think the quarterback should ever be responsible for a single loss.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback, as you know, is the focal point of everybody. I mean, you don't have to know football that well. You don't have to know the ins and outs, the offensive line, and all that.
And I don't. So,
to
hey,
know
that's perfect.
that the quarterback is the one you're paying the most attention to, right?
Right.
I mean, good or bad, right or wrong. I mean, we both know the games are often won on the line of scrimmage, but that's not what most people are paying attention to. They're paying attention to how the quarterback throw, how many touchdown passes versus how many interceptions, how many yards do you throw for. So I think a lot of times maybe they don't deserve the credit or blame, but they get it nonetheless.
Oh no! Look. Always too much credit in a win, too much in a loss, right? It's always the extremes.
Right. And Marcel got that last year too, because in the Miami game he didn't look good. In the Texas game he didn't look good. So I mean, he's making less, I guess, than the Oklahoma State quarterback, based on what I'm seeing.
Drew Mestemaker.
Yeah. Mestemaker's making 3.5, and Marcel's making a little over 3, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's half as much, or, I mean, it's a lot less than Arch Manning making 6.8, right? I mean, he's the highest paid quarterback, I think.
Well, okay, this is where we're talking about numbers allegedly, right?
Right.
Allegedly, Arch Manning gave a good chunk of that back so they could afford the rest of the roster. And that Darian Mensah, Miami at $6 million plus is the top paid. Allegedly.
And you know what? Josh Hoover's making 4.5.
Yep.
And Josh Hoover wasn't that good at TCU. I mean, they must expect him to be really good, and maybe he will be. I mean,
two teams overpaid, but that's about the market, right? Where Miami, I doubt if Mensah's a $6 million plus, but if you remember, Miami ended up with a need in the last week and got Mensah on the last Friday. The portal was open. Remember how that went down and people were screaming bloody murder? So Mensah got paid extra credit money because he was the last quarterback left. And it ended up, I think, with Indiana was the same thing where when you looked up, Hoover was the best avail at the time. So bonus money.
Yeah, and Ole Miss probably overpaid for Trinidad, right? I mean, but he's
they had to fight off LSU.
Right. I mean, they had to. $5 million is a lot of money for 1 year. Man, it's a lot of money, especially when this guy came from Ferris State. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Good for him.
If you look at Chambliss's last month / postseason, and so if you want to call it crunch time, he's worth every bit of $5 million. If that's the real him,
right? But I mean, it's a pretty small sample, right?
Well, it's 7 games. Because remember, they made a run in the playoff. That's 3, and then the final month was 4. So in the end, it's 7 games. It's you know.
That's most of the season, right? Yeah.
Well, now that you're playing 20-game seasons, yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
Hey, Rusty, let's grab a quick timeout, dude.
Let's do it.
Rusty Burson, Aggie historian and author, joins us on the D4 Land Services hotline. If you ever need a custom metal building, from the ground up, d4landservices.com. Forestry, mulching, pond construction, d4landservices.com. And if you just want to check out like every single thing they do, go to d4landservices.com. It's the Louie Bellina Show on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
Listen to The Zone on the Zone app. Thanks to Loyalty Plumbing. The pros at Loyalty Plumbing are ready to serve you 24/7. 24/7. For big emergencies or small.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, residential, commercial, and industrial services. It's what they do at CC Electric. Joined again, Rusty Burson. He's an Aggie historian. He is an author. And Rusty, okay, on the 1 to 10 scale, where's the hypometer? Are you still waiting for game day? Are you still waiting for game week? Do you have a fever for a flavor of a Pringles? I mean, are you ready to go, dude?
You know, I'm not over the top yet, Lou, but I tell you what, though, that is my favorite Motley Crue song of all time that you came back to. So, Kickstart Your Heart, that's my favorite. That always gets me fired up. So
I'm getting you there. I'm working.
You didn't even know what you're doing, but you're getting me there. So it's just hard to get up for Missouri State. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Arizona State. And I think that's kind of when the season starts. You know, I mean, I'm probably going to watch TCU in North Carolina this weekend. So, yeah, I'm ready for college football. It's time. The weather doesn't say it's time, but it's time. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling.
I need to know if you're Dusty or if you're Louie. It's a question today here on the Louie Bellina Show. And what does that even mean? Dusty's like, he ain't watching a single game tonight because everybody knows about week 0 starting Saturday. But did you know there's like 700 FCS games today?
Yeah, there are a lot of FCS games.
And Dusty's a no. Dusty's like, he don't care. The way I watch any sport, it's like it doesn't matter. I'll turn it on until I'm bored. If my mind wanders, if I go for the phone or the remote, I just turn it off. But unless it's exhibition, which is not just no, but oh my God, no. There's no practice in my life. But other than that, I'm willing to turn anything on for 5 minutes, and if it entertained me, I stay, and if not, I just move on.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, but these games tonight, I don't know. I mean, my wife and I are kind of binge watching something on Netflix, and so that we'll probably watch that tonight. And
is it the Real Housewives again?
No, definitely not.
Admit it, Rusty. You're among friends. This is a safe place.
No, it's definitely not. Not that at all. So it's. I can't remember the name of it, but it's very, very intense. It's like a kidnapped little boy, and it's his father broke out of jail because he had been convicted of murdering him. So yeah, it's a really good show. It's very intense. So as soon as the Rangers start losing, last couple of nights, we've flipped it over there. So
it's so good you don't remember the name. I love this show. I can't wait to not watch it too.
Yeah, I could look it up. Yeah. You got me on the spot, man. I'm sorry.
Okay, but I mean, you're watching episodes of it plural, and you don't know the name.
Yeah, I know
you're
that
not
it was
selling
like it pops up as like continue watching, right? So
not one character name, not the show name.
Yeah. Like I said, I know
gripping, absolutely gripping.
I know the context. The guy broke out of jail. And he's,
right, that guy, not even his name. The show, that one on Netflix, because they only have like 2 shows. So I got a 50-50 shot of finding it.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to look it up, man. I'll text it to you later.
Well, thank you. I won't sleep until I know the end of this storyline.
But back to your point, I'm probably not going to watch the college football games tonight, the FCS games.
So you're dusty. Okay.
Probably not going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, for me, again, 5 minutes. I've watched some of the just funnest, I'm not going to say best, that's a weird word, but some of the funnest things just by turning it on and giving it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's football season, so I get it. I was flipping through the channels the other night, and the Cowboys were playing the Cardinals, and I think I watched 2 or 3 plays. So, I mean, it wasn't like I was going to go get invested in preseason football, but I mean, I think I watched a couple plays.
Practice is the exception to everything. I don't believe in practice, so
yeah, I don't believe in practice either. I do not like practice. I used to have access to go when I was with the 12-Man Foundation to go watch any practice I wanted. You know how many I watched?
One?
Yeah,
one. One day by accident, and what you end up doing is going, well, let's see what it's like. And 10 minutes in, you're like, it's like no.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not watch very many of those at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've been there, done that. I understand this feeling completely. Hey, you mentioned watching the Rangers the past couple of nights. At least your owner fired the GM who was screwed because of you, and then left the manager who doesn't know how to change the pitcher correctly in place.
I think that sounds like the Astros, right?
Hey, ding, 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 ding. I mean, both teams aren't good, but at least one doesn't feel like it's a cesspool.
Yeah, but I mean, they're just they from that night to night, you just never know what you're going to get with either one of those teams. I mean, it's just, and the Mariners too. I mean, they got beat 22-0 last week, so it's like 22-0. That's kind of ridiculous. But and then they got beat 19-2, I think, 2 days later, and yet they're just right there in the race.
And the Astros last night was an Espada special. So Yadier Diaz the night before had his best game of the year. He's benched. Comes up late in the game when the Astros are actually still in it, and you have Vasquez hitting with the bases loaded, 1 out. They don't pitch hit for him with Diaz. And then they bring in Sousa, in a tie game. He gives up 3, takes the loss. De Los Santos, who's been cooked for a month, brings him in. He pads on the extra runs just to make sure you give up. And I'm just like, I don't get the point of this.
Well, and then, I mean, the Rangers pitcher, the best pitcher on the Rangers right now is Cal Quantrill. I mean, There's no question. I mean, he's been fantastic, and he pitches a great game The last game of the homestand, and they win they go 4-2 in the homestand, and then they get, really solid effort 2 nights ago from Rocker. He loads the bases and gets out of it and ends up almost going 6 innings but like 5 2/3 and gave up 2 runs, both on a solo homer. And then you think, okay, well, we got DeGrom going tonight. And DeGrom gives up 6 runs in the first inning. Now, granted, none of the average velocity of the balls that were hit in that inning was 72, but still 6 runs by DeGrom, and then last night you lay an egg too. So it's just very, very frustrating. Mackenzie Gore, who you traded the whole minor league system to get during the off season, and he's just so unpredictable.
With the Texas Rangers, I was talking about it yesterday, and I know if DeGrom is your number 3 starter, none of it would feel so, because his ERA is like a 4.2. So It's not like he's a big puss bag, but when he's Jacob DeGrom, it just feels like a lost year.
Yeah, and then you've got Evaldi hurt too, and then Jack Leiter made a relief appearance yesterday in AAA, gave up 3 runs in 1 inning, so he's not ready.
But that minor league rehab, the runs, it's about, okay, what was the velocity? How did the arm feel the next day?
Yeah, but still, that's alarming when you give up that many, runs in 1 inning. So, if he comes back, it's probably going to be in relief because they don't have enough time to build him back up as a starter. And so, again, if the Rangers make the playoffs, that's a big, big if. My game 1 starter is going to be Cal Quantrill.
How weird. Okay, you as a Ranger fan, because your mind handle that it's not DeGrom, it's not Evaldi, it's not Gore.
Right. It's Cal Quantrill, but he's been the very best pitcher for the last 2 months, and so every time they throw him out there, it's kind of like the year the Rangers won the World Series. The pitcher of the year, do you have any recollection of who that was?
Okay, time. 23 was the year, right?
Right, 2023.
No, I have no idea.
Dane Dunning.
Holy cow. You could have gave me 50 guesses. It wasn't happening.
He was great that year, and that was it. But, sometimes, pitchers catch lightning in a bottle, and you got to roll with it. And so right now, and again, who knows? There's if they make the playoffs. But like I said, if I'm filling out that lineup card game 1, and I've got, rested pitching staff and all things being equal, I'm filling out Cal Quantrill.
My positive as an Astros, it looks like Varsho is starting to come around.
Yeah, again.
I ain't got much, man. Come on, don't laugh at me.
Did you see the Reds put Suarez on waivers today?
No.
He's available. He's just out there. Like, anybody can go get him. The Rangers need a bat. The Astros need an outfield bat. Come on. Go do something.
What's the story? There's a reason why he's on waivers.
I think the Reds just, the reality is they ain't making the playoffs. So, it's a 1-year deal. You'd have to pick up some of the salary. Of course, that's the big deal with the Rangers and Astros is that got 2 owners who's not willing to pick up any salary at this point.
Yeah, but when the fan base demands commitment to winning, and if both teams don't claim him, right?
Right.
I'm sorry. You talk about signaling you don't want to win.
He's out there right now. As of this morning, Eugenio Suarez, who was a pretty vital piece for the Mariners last year.
Why do you leave me so confused? That one statement alone, I'm sitting here, and I've been shaking my head back and forth nonstop since you said that.
Just go get him. He's right there. It's not going to cost you any, prospects or anything. Just go get him.
And it's the ultimate move that either team, because, look, the Astros don't have any prospects left. That's not fair. They got like 2 players now coming in the 60s, which tells you the few things Brown did do good is help the minor league organization a skosh.
Right.
They've moved up from 29 to 26. Okay. So he's put some prospects, so they have nothing in the minors. And they have an owner who said he couldn't trade anyone off the majors. And I think part of why he got fired is he put a deal in place to trade Abreu to the Twins for exactly what they needed. And it was Crane who, nixed that at the last second.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Suarez is a third baseman, but he's a heck of a bat for either one of those teams. And you'd have to pay part of that $15 million contract. But it wouldn't be, all 29 clubs can claim him during this next 48-hour period. So the
Astros have like 4 corner infield. I don't care. Just grab him and
he can put. I'll play him in the outfield. He can play in my outfield right now. I'm so tired of watching Evan Carter underachieve that, he's a heck of a defensive player, but I'll give up a run defensively if he can
score 2.
Score 2.
Plus
Exactly
1.
Right.
In the end, you're plus 1. 2
right.
minus 1 is 1. You'll take it. Rusty, go be awesome. Hey, next Thursday, make sure you have the Missouri State scouting report ready. I'm going to have you be you're going to be my Missouri State guy, okay?
Okay. I'm going to have to spend the next week doing that.
That's all I need from you. Be good, brother.
See you, buddy.
Later. Rusty Burson, Aggie historian and author on the D4 Land Services hotline. And hey, do you need help? Land excavated, land cleared, d4landservices.com. But check out everything they do because they do that and more, like forestry, mulching, and custom metal buildings. Check out d4landservices.com. When we return, the big sprint to the finish. It's the Louie Bellina Show on the Zone.
Aggie football sounds even better online. Check it out at radioaggieland.com.
It is the Louie Bellina Show. Down the stretch we come. It is the Louie Bellina Show inside the Charles Schwab studio. And I'm until someone can prove otherwise, I'm going to stick with the Thursday edition. Low cost, full service, best of all local. Charles Schwab. How can they be best of all local? It's Charles Schwab because we got Mark Sim, and he's right here in College Station. Eat here, sleep here, and goes to the games here. He is one of us. Go look him up online. Get answers to your questions. Learn more at schwab.com/College Station. In the sprint to the finish, it's been the number one question, at least for me in our conversations. A&M CFP. Prove to the world, over my lifetime as a fan, media, any and all the above, right? People say that the media, the journalists, everyone has been anti-A&M. I actually completely disagree. There are outlets that are anti-A&M, and there's outlets that are pro-A&M. There's two sides to everything, to be fair. In general, I find that people want to buy A&M stock, media. They really do. They've been burned so much over time. You put back-to-back CFPs, and you'll be surprised at the people crawling out of the woodworks. You'll be surprised, I think, of the people that will give A&M the credit that you've seen other schools get that A&M never does. I want to live in that world. I want to experience that. I don't know about you. I think it'll be fun. And Aggie fans, the long suffering, the boss, all this will soak it in after so much pain and suffering. So, can A&M win a national championship this year? That might be a little early in the Elko tenure era. I'm not going to give you a no, but I would say that's a single-digit percentage. That might be asking for too much, but here's something in my head that's different, like this Elko era, the right now. I know in past years, heck, we've been trying to figure out how to make bowls. Aggie football's been at that level. Our what ifs have been to break through, and we can't even tell you what breakthrough means. This is a whole different, and Elko's already leveled up expectation. Last year was CFP and 11, but this is how to return double-digit wins in a 12-game world. And in the past, the conversations are like, look, they don't have linebackers. They're not going to have linebackers. So how do you cover up for not having linebackers? That's a different kind of conversation or A&M, they just don't have X. That's not true at any position. The question is, what will it look like? Can they? But there's not a single position where you don't have. That's a completely different world, I think, for Aggie football. There's no position of, well, it's just screwed and they're going to have to disguise it. It's just screwed and. No. This is different. How long will it take the development? How good or average mediocre will it be? I mean, do you actually, let me ask this question of you. Do you actually see a position that's bad and you just hope it doesn't tank the season? See, the standard is it 10-win good? That's a high elite standard. And on the schedule, A&M's opponents, they could possibly play, they're playing like 5 other teams that have CFP dreams too. Realistic ones, not just telling their alums to give them money, but realistic, projections, and other people say it too, right? Right. So, do you see a position that's like before the season starts and you're like, nah, they just don't have it? That's not the, and that's the difference for me of Elko football, and if we want to say Fran football and Sumlin football, Jimbo Fisher, these eras we've lived under, right? Because most years under these other coaches, you knew there was a position that was doomed before the season started. It was no. So the question was, how do you make up for not having X, for having Y as a no before the season started? How do you disguise it? That's not what's happening here in the Elko era. The question is, are they good enough for 10 wins? High standard, and that feels good. I like these conversations. I like existing on that plane. So, so who's there with me? Again, if you think I'm one step too far right now, texting, How do you see this is okay? But I think that's where things are. That's where I think the conversation rests at. I don't know if A&M's quite at, and here's the next level of conversation. Once we get past, are they 10-win good, and it's understood they're 10-win, then we start talking about how do you win 3 to 4 games in the CFP. That's the next conversation level for Aggie football. But I don't think they're there yet. I still think, how do you win 10 games every year? That's the Ohio State conversation. Step 1, how do you win 10 every year? And once we don't talk about that, how do you win 3-4 games in the CFP? That's the next level of conversation. If you take a look at the teams this year, you probably have 15 teams fighting for the CFP spots. And I'm not going to include the G6. Ohio State, Notre Dame, USC, Ole Miss, A&M, Georgia, Oregon, Indiana, LSU, Oklahoma, Bama, Miami, Texas Tech. 15 for the 12 and then bump out like the 1. So 15 for 11. But how many of those are fighting for the Natty? By definition, if you make the CFP. But reality, how many of those teams do you think can win 3 or 4? Because if you get the bye, it's 3, right? If you have to play in the first round, it's 4. How many of those teams you think can win 4 games in a postseason? That's the final tier. That's the final point. Elko's building that way. That's the long-term plan. And Georgia's proving it's rather difficult. They haven't been able to do it. You talk about having to peak at the right time, and we always thought it was November. Peaking at the right time now equals December and January? It's not even November anymore? You have to be able to carry it over, not the end of the season, but the postseason, and a postseason that's 6 weeks long. 6 weeks. How do you know how to do that until you get to coach it and you have to go through it? And you have to advance through that, play 10 days off, play 9 days off, and it's a different universe. But that's the next tier of conversation. I say without a doubt. And I think Elko's priority got his plans for that. It's, open that envelope when. But if you take a look at the teams this year, who are the teams that are built for that? Someone said Oregon, and I still have the Oregon problem that they might not be built for the postseason at all. And sure, I'm just using the simple fact that they have been whacked hard the past 2 years. Is what, a 1 and a 2 seed? And they just look like they didn't even practice during the break. If Cristobal has really overcome the hump, Miami's an easy call. They just showed you. Anyway, that's how I look at Aggie football. The question isn't, we're missing, how do you hide? No. It's almost like, how good will each unit be? Not, oh no, we're doomed. The closest to that, again, will be linebacker, and it's been way too long. I talked about that in the first hour. I'd kill for an all-SEC linebacker, but A&M might have a chance to have 2 of them, and that's kind of how it all feels to me, and that feels good. Up next, bye-bye. Up next, we wrap up a text message or 2. We'll wrap up the Louie Bellina Show on a Thursday. Something big is coming. Mark September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, an all-day celebration that's built for sports fans. One app, every sport, all 50 state. DraftKings Game Day is yours. Use the code KZNEAM if you're a new DraftKings customer. And if you use the code KZNEAM, $5 can get you $200 in rewards at 21 days. The code again for new DraftKings customers is KZNEAM. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Check out the terms at dking.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state.
The Louie Bellina Show. Dial 979-693-1150.
Hello.
To visit with him.
Hello.
Or to win.
Hello.
On the D4 Land Services Hotline. Dial 979-693-1150.